Good morning to you all. I simply don't know how it's Wednesday or already. I had every intention of posting on Monday and Tuesday, but those days just seem to have disappeared. So I'm following on from having launched on here last week. So last week I was talking more about my mediumship and also how I use my cards to assist with that. They can be used on their own, not necessarily with mediumship involved. But I thought today, so I'll talk about another of the services that I provide, and that's the fact that I'm also a Reiki master. Actually, I'm a Reiki master and practitioner. So the difference between the two, a practitioner is somebody who can provide Reiki healing, either hands-on or remotely. A Reiki master is somebody who is able to teach, or attune is the word that we use in Reiki, to attune somebody else to become a practitioner. So I'm both. I'm practitioner and master. And I did my attunements in 2011, which again, I can hardly believe that now. But since then, since 2011, excuse me, there has barely been a day when I haven't been sending Reiki to somebody. Sometimes dozens of people, all at the same time, every day, which is wonderful, which I love. So I realise I've slightly inadvertently touched on something there. So you've heard me say I send Reiki. So the starting point is to explain what Reiki is. So Reiki is a universal form of healing. It's an ancient Japanese art of healing, and it's based around the flow of energy through your body, and using Reiki allows it to flow freely. When it's not flowing freely, it tends to show itself in one way or another, and it can be physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, that things just aren't quite right, and it can show itself in an illness, in an infection, in pain, any number of things. So using the Reiki helps to restore that balance and gets the energy flowing. And that is the thing which then starts to reduce or very often just eliminate whatever those symptoms are that you are experiencing. So when you have been attuned as a Reiki practitioner, a Reiki master has a process that then passes this universal energy through you. And once it's there, it's always there, and all you need to do is activate it when you need it, and there's a process that you use to do that. But I think like a lot of things, the more you do it, the more you practice it, the better you get at it, the stronger you get at that thing, whatever it is. Now, over the years, for lots of reasons, I have used the remote Reiki, which I know sounds even more bizarre than possibly what Reiki itself sounds like to you. So hands-on Reiki, when you call the Reiki to you, the main touch point, the kind of activating point is your hands. So Reiki practitioners will tell you if they're giving a treatment and they've called the Reiki and they've activated it, they'll feel it in their hands. And typically that is that the palms of the hands become very, very hot. It can also feel almost a little bit like, it's not quite pins and needles, but it's sort of a prickly sensation. You can feel that energy. So a lot of people who they provide Reiki hands-on you can simply put your hands on a particular part of the body if there's an issue there, or you can place it on. There's various touch points, various chakras. That's a post for another day, but physically hold the hands on the person or just above the person to transmit that energy. However, there is also a process which allows you to send that over distance. There's another little process that you use for that. Now, for many reasons, over these years, since 2011, I have done an awful lot more of the remote Reiki than hands-on, just because my friends and family, people that I've helped, aren't local. But to the extent that my husband, Tony, now he much prefers me to send Reiki to him, even if he's here in the house, because he says, I can tell the difference. It's stronger. It's much stronger when you send it as opposed to, putting your hands on my knee or my back or, whatever it is that's hurting on any given day, which is really interesting, which I know it's simply because I've used that an awful lot more than the hands-on. So now actually I just send it remotely. Which means that if you were interested, wherever you are in the world seeing this and you kind of fancy giving it a go, I would be able to help. And something else that you'll see if you click through to my website, you'll see I always say, if you're either new to Reiki or you're new to me and you're interested in Reiki, I will do a first session completely free of charge to just see how you get on with it, and also to give you some confidence in that. One of the things that, just having mentioned my husband, one of the things I'm so happy about and I'm really quite proud of. So over all these years, and I send Tony Reiki, but more so when he's playing golf than really any other time. And over the years, so his friends have heard him on the phone to me. If he suddenly thinks, I've forgotten to ask Jude, and he's on the phone saying, Jude, will you just send me some Reiki for my neck or my back or my knees or whatever it might be? And I'm going, yep, absolutely. And so over a period of time, they're going, what's that you're asking? You're asking Judy, and they'll say, "Oh no, she does this Reiki. She does this Reiki stuff, and it stops my knees hurting, or wherever it is on any given day." And I go, "Oh," and over a period of time, and they'd say to him at the end of the game, "All right, so how did that work?" And he'll go, "Yeah, I've been completely pain free while I was playing." So over a period of time, they'd started saying, do you think could you ask Judith if she could send me some Reiki for my right hip or my shoulders? Yeah, of course. So one by one, I've converted almost all of them, which I love, because I know this isn't everybody's cup of tea. I know when you don't know what it is, it sounds like it's a proper load of hokum. But I would only say, give it a go, and you're likely to be amazed. But I also, I love it that, I think I know I'm quite a normal person. I'm not weird and wonderful or witch-like, or, I'm normal. And these are people, they know me and they know that I'm normal. So they're kind of going, well, if Jude's saying that she thinks this can help, I think perhaps it can help. And then they give it a go, and guess what? Then it helps. So I absolutely love that. One of the things I'm able to do is to get people to just go, give it a go. The worst thing that can happen is that it doesn't make any difference. That's the worst. The best that can happen is, guess what? Your pain disappears. So that's just a bit of an introduction to that. I hope just explaining a little bit about what it is and how it works. I hope that's helpful to you as well. And if you're interested and want to find out more, click through to the website, have a look. And if you've got any questions, please do get in touch. And I will be in touch again soon.